then transpired.
Shilo ukuthi baphuma ke bekhuluma ke emafonini qhubeka ke kusuka lapho kwenzekani.
Njengoba beqeda ukukhuluma namafoni nkosenkantolo ngabona kuqhamuka imoto embili iGTI imoto emhlophe eyinomaka yizwa ngazi ukuthi emaphoyisa abizwa ngani ngoba ngiyifunda yedwa ayinawo umaka onayo ihardboard engenawo umaka evene emhlophe.
Then two vehicles appeared, my lord. It was a white GTI. It was marked, although I can't tell what that mark was because I'm illiterate. And then there was a hard body, but the hard body wasn't marked.
Now, describe to the court the occupants first of the VW GTI.
Awusichazele ke ngalabo ababegibele kwi-GTI leyo eyayimhlophe leyo othi yayinomaka.
Kwi-GTI kwakukhona abantu abayi-2.
There were two people in the GTI, yebo.
Were they male persons?
Kwakuwabantu besilisa?
Yeah.
Yes.
Were they black, white, Indian, colored?
Kwakuwabantu bamnyama, abantu abamhlophe, ama-Indian, ama-Khalati. It looked like colored. Sorry, they looked like colored, but the other one was hidden himself with a mask.
The one who's not hidden with a mask, did he at any stage testify in this court?
Omunye lona ke owayengayifakile imask ingabe mhlambe wayezile la inkantolo ezothula ufakazi?
Yeah, kufikile.
Yes, he did.
What is his name?
Ubani igama lakhe?
Igama lakhe ngilizwe khona lapha enkantolo ukuthi Jonathan.
I heard his name here in court, Jonathan.
And in that GTI, were there the guy with a mask on, and Jonathan, was there any other occupant in that car?
Why in
the GTI?
There were two people in the GTI.
Now, the occupants of the hard body, can you describe to the court how many were they?
Babe bangaki ababegibele kwi-hard body?
Kwi-hard body ngababonanga kahle phakathi ngoba kwaphuma abantu abayi-2.
I couldn't see as to how many they were inside, but two people alighted from it.
And those people, were they male or female persons?
Gentlemen.
And now, just for clarity's sake, the two cars, were they police cars or were they normal civilian cars?
Le imoto ebili lezi kwakuyimoto zamaphoyisa noma kwakungezona imoto zamaphoyisa?
Lena yodwa ngoba yayinomaki le iGTI le ehamba uJonathan yona ayibonisa ukuthi imoto yamaphoyisa yayingabonisi le mhlophe.
Because the GTI was marked, it indicated there was an indication that it was a police vehicle, but the other one, the hard body, was not marked.
And the occupants of both cars, the Nissan hard body and the GTI VW motor vehicle, were they clothed in civilian clothing or were they in uniform?
Labantu laba ke kuzo zoyimbini le imoto lezi ngaba babegqokele nje impahla zabo noma babegqoke ke impahla zomsebenzi ejengisayo ukuthi ke basemsebenzini.
Abegqoke impahla zomsebenzi kosenkantolo.
They were in uniform,
including the two persons from the Nissan hard body.
Nalaba laba babephuma hard body nabo.
Ngabona laba baphuma beza ke mababili.
I saw the two that came to me, or that got out and came towards me.
Now, what transpired once these two cars arrived at the engine garage where the Toyota Fortuner was parking?
Seyifikile ke le imoto embili lapho ke egarage engine kwasekwenzekani?
Nkosenkantolo iGTI yangena yagudla yona iFortuner ngoba iFortuner yemibo yangena la ihard body yayimisongo ngemuva so zilandelene kodwa nale ngaphambili iGTI.
As these two cars were following each other, the hard body following the GTI parked next to the Fortuner and the hard body was just behind.
Then what transpired?
Kwasekwenzekani?
Wasephuma komabhena lapha naye emotweni ngoba wayebuya ngene emotweni ngoba kwakubanda.
Mabena then alighted from the vehicle because he would go in and come out of the vehicle because it was cold.
Proceed further.
Baphuma bakhuluma bonke nje bemlapha ngingakezwa ukuthi bathini.
They got out. They were all speaking among themselves over there and I couldn't hear what they were saying.
Proceed.
Emveni kwalokho waseza ke uMabhena wangikhipha la kule moto le iFortune. Wangifaka kule GTI le.
From there, Mabena then came to the Fortuner, took me out of the Fortuner and placed me in the GTI.
Were you still in handcuffs at the time?
Usafakuza ngosi nangaleso sikhathi.
Yeah.
Yes.
How were you still handcuffed?
Babefakwe kanjani?
Ngalokho ngibafake ngemuva.
My hands were always, all the time at the back.
And where were you placed in the GTI motor vehicle?
Kwase kuthi ku-GTI bakubeka kuphi noma bakuhlalisa kuphi nendawo?
Ngangena ngapha endaweni ka-driver leya right umdriver ungaphambili ngangena ngemuva.
Just right behind the driver, no, on the right-hand side.
And did anyone else get into that car?
Khona omunye wangena kuleyo moto.
Kwangena uMabhena ngale sandleni sami sokunxele.
On my left side, it was Mabena.
What then transpired in that motor
Kwase
vehicle?
kwenzekani-ke?
Ngoba phambili lo ehleli phambili no Jonathan. Yena wayelokho ehleli nje lapha ya. uJonathan ehleli la.
The other one, the person that was with Jonathan was on the left, that is now in front, and Jonathan was just seated there.
What then transpired?
Kwase kwenzekani?
Kwase ke uJonathan ejike ngibheka kwase kusondela ke ubaba wayiproducer ke moto ngobuthelezi.
Then Jonathan turned around and looked at me, and then certain gentleman then introduced himself as Buthelezi.
Yes, we may have missed that one. Where, in relation to the GTI, there's Jonathan in front passengers, driver's side, front passenger seat, unknown man. The left is Mabena, the right is you. Where is Jonathan in relation to those positioning? The driver is Jonathan.
Yes.
There's an unknown male person with a mask on the front passenger seat.
Yes.
On the left rear, it's Mabena.
Yes.
And the witness is on the right,
Yes.
behind the driver.
Yes.
Where is Buthelezi?
Okay. Kulabantu ababalile bonke la emotweni angithi ushilo ukuthi ubani ohlezi kuphi. Waye kuphi nendawo yena uButhelezi?
Wayephandle khona la ngoba isivalo sasingavaliwe sasivule.
Eduze kwakho.
Eduze kwami.
He was outside just right next to me because the door was not closed.
Yes, then what then transpired?
Kwase kwenzekani?
Waseke mengitshena igama lakhe Nkosi enkantolo wase ngibuzela nami ngase ngimtshene la muntu ngoba.
Introduced himself, asked me who I was, and I also told him as to who I was.
Who introduced himself?
Ubani lo wayichaza?
Nguye qala.
He introduced himself first.
Yes, who is he?
Sikhuluma ngobani la?
Sikhuluma ngobaba uButhelezi.
Buthelezi.
Okay. After that, what then transpired?
Kwase kwenzekani ke emuva kwalokho?
Emveni kwalokho ke wase ngibuza imibuzo naye ukuthi ngelanga le lokhuza le October yizo sengazi ama 26 or 27 wathi wawukuphi ngale date.
He then also asked me questions about a day, although I can't remember whether it was the 26th or the 27th in October, and asked me as to where I was on that particular day.
Proceed.
Ngase ngimphendula ke mina Nkosi enkantolo ukuthi uma ukuthi ngangingekho emsebenzini isuke ngisekhaya.
I then answered him that if I am not at work, or if it is that I wasn't at work, then I would be at home.
What happened next?
Yebo.
Wase ke engitshena ukuthi into ayifunayo iqiniso.
He then told me that the only thing that he was looking for was the truth.
Ngimbuze nami Nkosi enkantolo ukuthi liphi iqiniso lelo olifuna ngapha ngiyaphendula.
I then asked him, which truth are you referring to? Because I am answering you.
What then transpired?
Yebo.
Wase ke qhamuka umfo elingana nje nami wayenomzimba nje. Mude futhi.
And
Manje
then-
igama lakhe ngigcine ngaze ekugcineni ukuthi Maphumulo.
And then a guy, my lord, who is my height, but he is bigger than me in build, then appeared, and I ended up getting to know his name, that it's Maphumulo.
What happened when Maphumulo came?
Makufika uMaphumulo kwenzekani?
Naye wafika wangitshena lento ibikhulunywa ngobuthelezi Nkosi enkantolo ukuthi into abayifuna kimi iqiniso.
He told-
Ngiphinde ngibuza ukuthi liphi iqiniso olifuna apha ngiyaphendula.
He told me the same thing that Buthelezi told me, that the only thing that they were looking for or that they wanted was the truth. I said to him, but which truth? Because I'm answering you.
What happened next?
Yeah.
Emveni kwalokho kwase ngikhuluma uMabhena ngapha ecela kwami sekhuluma ukuthi yababona laba batabala kuwe la. Lembuzo bakubuzela uma ungafuna ukwatshena iqiniso. Uzophuma ngikushiya emotweni.
Then Mabena answered and said that, you see these people that are here, if you don't want to tell the truth, I'm going to leave you in the vehicle. I'm going to get out of the vehicle and leave you here.
Then what happened?
Yeah.
Emvela lokho ke na uMabhena ngimbuza lithi iqiniso mina Nkosi enkantolo ukuzolikhuluma kuwe Mabhena ngani ngoba ngiyaphendula lama ngingekho emsebenzini usuke ngisekhaya. And negoli lelo ngibuza ngaligola nilazi. Ngazi lapho kugidwa khona uma ngibuthi ingoma eground resol ekuphi le ngoma. Ya ngafe ngikhombisa ingoma igidwa la.
Then what
I
happened?
also answered Mabhena and said, but which truth are you referring to? Because I am answering you, and I am not familiar with Gauteng. If you were to ask me where is it that the performance is being held, or where the song as well as the dance, then I'll be able to point that out to you.
Then what happened, sir?
Yebo.
Emveni kwalokho ke Nkosi enkantolo ngabona uMabhena ke khipha uplastic wase Truent. Ewufaka ke emekhaya.
Thereafter, I saw Mabhena producing a truth, a plastic bag, and placed it over my head.
Describe that plastic bag.
Uchaze lo plastic.
Plastic wase Truent oba uplastic wase Truent usilver lawa wa silver manje ubhale uthi Truent la.
It's a
La
silver
phakathi ngaphakathi.
truth plastic bag, and it's written there truths.
Now that bag is placed over your head. Proceed from there.
Wawufaka ke ekhanda kuwena qhubeka.
Mawufaka uplastic ekhanda ngithi ngizama ke ugquma ubaba utheleze ngigresile ngabuthi ngingakhona ukuphuma ngephandle ngoba ngangizophuma kube wayengekho ubaba utheleze ngapha engishovela phakathi.
And as I tried to jump, my lord, but I was pressed on the side by Buthelezi because he's the one that was blocking me to go out. Because if Buthelezi wasn't there, I was gonna get out of the vehicle.
How did you feel as that plastic bag was placed over your head?
Wazizwa kanjani ke ngaleso sikhathi uplastic lowo ufakiwe kuwena ekhanda?
Kwabuhlungu ke Nkosi enkantolo ngoba oyelanga lokuqala le cancer.
It was hurting to me, my lord, because that was the first time that was happening.
Proceed further. What happened
Futhi
next?
namanje yabona nje inhliziyo yami Nkosi enkantolo ngelapha bo inhliziyo yami ibuhlungu kakhulu.
Even now, my lord, as I'm before you here, my heart is very painful.
What happened next, sir?
Kwase kwenzekani ke?
Mabebona ukuthi abalungu leta abayenza ngifuna ukuphuma uJonathan ashove isitulo athi angivule imlenze isitulo singene la ke ngibe sona isitulo esingikhona ukumpressela ngapha ukuthi ngingakhona ukuyalena ukuyala.
And my lord, the other thing that happened was that Jonathan would then push the seat backwards and instructed me to open my legs so that the seat can get in between my legs.
And how long do you estimate that for the first time the plastic bag was held over your head?
Cabanga ukuthi ke uplastic lowo wawugcinwe noma ufakwe la kuwena ekhanda isikhathi esingakanani?
Angeke ngikwazi Nkosi enkantolo ukumeshina isikhathi ngoba babawufaka bethi mangifuna ukukhuluma bazozwa ngami.
I wouldn't be able to tell the time, my lord, because they would place the plastic and they would say that if they would hear from me if I wanted to talk.
And was that plastic bag at some stage removed from your head?
Ingabe sikhona yini isikhathi la khona ke uplastic lowo wasuswa ekhanda lapho?
Babawususa mangithi manene ke.
When I would say to them stop, and then they would remove it.
So from what I'm hearing from you, are you saying that the plastic bag was repeatedly placed over your head at different times?
Engikuzwa kuwena ukuthi uplastic lona babephinda ngathi babewufaka bawukhiphe bawukhiphe yiloko babekwenza kuwena.
Babawufaka mangithi mina manene ke bewukhiphe. Emveni kwalokho mangithi bethi khuluma mangithi ngithule phinde ubuyela kemekhanda.
Yes, they would place it, my lord, and then maybe I would say to them, wait, then they would remove it. If then I keep quiet, then they would put it back again.
And besides the plastic bag being placed over your head, was anything else done physically to you?
Ngaphandle kokufaka kwawo uplastic kuwena ke ekhanda ngabakhona yini okunye ababekwenza kuwena la kuwena emzimbeni?
Yizo Nkosi enkantolo ngangingabona ukuthi ubani ongishaya ngepama la ngoba phela mangivale so engipressile khona ushaya ngepama ngangingabona ukuthi ngishaya ubani but kodwa umuntu engangibona wena ongishaya ngepama ilona ngangifuna ngangifesene na uJonathan ngoba ngayengeke ubaba uThelezi ukwazi ukugamanxisa isandla ngishaya ngepama.
Although I would not be in a position to see as to who was smacking me with an open hand, my lord, because the plastic would be covering my head, but I think that the person that would have been able to do that was the one that was facing me, which was Jonathan. Buthelezi, from where he was, he could not have smacked me.
Now, there's one character that we missed earlier. Let me just add that character to the picture. Where was Mohane at this time?
Wayekuphi ngaleso sikhathi uMukhane?
Umkhane ngamgcina esemotweni ehleli khona ngoba cha yena akazange angibeke isandla kwasenkantolo umkhane.
The last time I saw or I checked Mukhane, my lord, he was in the vehicle and Mukhane never assaulted me, my lord.
Now, in the vehicle, did Jonathan participate in the assaults that were perpetrated on you?
Emotweni, uJonathan wayingxenye yini yalabo ababekushaya?
Yebo.
Yes, my lord.
And how did he participate?
Kanjani?
Angithi uma bhena mebamba uplastic uJonathan nawe uyangipressa ukuthi ngingakhona uqhuma.
When Mabena is holding the plastic, Jonathan would be pressing me so that I wouldn't be able to jump.
Ngoba izandla isitulo semoto masimso izandla zakhe zayiphuma la ziza ke imvele so uma bhena ngithi ngapha yena umsebenzi wakhe ufaka uplastic bese bepressa lapha ngekhanda.
As the seat would be pressed, or the seat would be like this, my lord, so his hands would be protruding from the sides, and so he would be pressing me.
And the gentleman in the front passenger seat, did he do anything to you?
Lona yena owayehlezi eduze koJonathan phambili, kusihlalo esingaphambili khona wayekwenza yena?
Cha lo wayecofela ifoni akazange enze nix nje.
No, that one was just busy with the phone. He never did anything to me.
Ngoba namanje ngimkhomba ukuthi ngwela ngoba akaze akhiphe imask akazenze nix kimi.
Because even now I won't be able to point out that person because he never even removed his mask. He didn't do anything.
And at some stage, did, roughly, before I go to that, how long do you think that plastic over your head, a slap here and there, how long do you think that event, that incident took place in that car?
Kulokufaka uplastiki bekhona ke ukushaya ngempama yonke le yanto eyenzeka emotweni ungathi yenzeka isikhathi esingakanani?
Because enkantolo kwahlaliwa lapha khona isikhathi. Yizo isikhathi ngeke ngisimeshini ukuthi isikhathi esingakanani.
We were there for some time, my lord, although I won't be able to say precisely how long.
Did you suffer any injuries as a result?
Ingaba khona ukulimala wakuthola ngenxa yalokho?
Because enkantolo ngisho ukuthi mawufaka uplastic ekhanda kuzoba buhlungu ikhanda ngeke lihlale lingashaya phela uplastic uyashisa because enkantolo and uvala umoya.
Yes, my lord, when a plastic is put over your head, there is no way that that wouldn't be painful or that your head wouldn't be burning because the plastic itches or it is there's heat in there.
Now, at some stage, did that, which was the incident in the car, did it stop?
Ingaba kwaphela noma ke kwagcina sebengasaqhubeki sebekiyeka lokho babekwenza?
Bayenza phela ngingazi ukuthi ngoba isikhathi esingana lokho bephele beshitshana noJonathan awufana amabhena awufake emveni ngalokho ngabona sengikhishiwe emotweni sengibuyisela kule moto le.
Though I won't be able to tell as to how long because they were taking turns, my lord. It would be Jonathan, it would be Mabena, and then thereafter I was then taken out from that vehicle back I was then taken out of that white vehicle.
And when were you you were taken now from the GTI motor vehicle to which vehicle?
Mabe sebekhipha ke manje ku GTI bakufaka kuyiphi imoto?
Ngabuyela kwi Fortuna.
I went back to the Fortuna.
Lela abawuhamba.
The one driven by Mukhane.
What then transpired once you were placed in the Fortuna?
Emveni lokho kwaphunya ngazi imoto phela ngingazi ukuthi imoto zayihamba apha kule ndawo mina ngiyazi igola ngithi but imoto yayichuza khona lapho ngingazi ukuthi yakuphi.
Then the cars left there, my lord. The cars were traveling, but because I am not familiar with Gauteng, so I don't know where the cars were traveling.
Did those cars, is it one car or all three of the cars went?
Kwahamba imoto eyodwa noma zahamba zonke lezo imoto ezazilapha?
Zahamba zonke zoyi-3.
All three vehicles left.
And did those cars come to eventually come to some destination?
Ngaba uma ihamba ke kodwa khona yini egcineni la eza iyofika khona?
Kukhona ngoba ihamba phambili yo le driver uJonathan kuyile Fortuna kaMhali phakathi ihalbot izangemuva mayihamba phakathi kwale ndawo ezayihamba kuyo.
Yes, my lord, there was some destination because the one that was leading was the one driven by Jonathan, and then the Fortuna in the middle, and then the hard body.
Now, for contextual purpose, what time did you arrive at that engine garage before we leave engine garage? What time did you arrive from Carltonville at that engine garage?
Uma nifika kuloya Carlton, sorry. Uma nifika kuloya engine garage, kwakubani isikhathi? Nisuke Carlton, nafika ke manje kulo engine garage. Kwakubani isikhathi uma nifika kulo engine garage?
Ngebhadi nephuthe kwasekantolo isikhathaya ngangenazo angasibongi nokusibonga ngoba inhliziyo yami yayibuhlungu serious yayibuhlungu.
Unfortunately, my lord, because I did not have time on me, so I cannot tell the time, and I can also say that I was in pain, my lord. Even my heart was sore.
But was it during the day, in the afternoon, dusk, or evening?
Kodwa ke ngokubheka kwakho ke kwakusekuseni kwakusemini kwakusebusuku.
Kwasekuqala kuba mnyama ngoba ilanga lashesha ukushona kubanda kungoJune July.
It was now starting, sunset was starting, my lord, because it was in June, it's winter, so sunset is earlier in winter.
And is it your testimony that when you left engine garage, then was it already dark?
Ubufakazi bakho ukuthi uma nisuka kona ke lapho engine kwaseqala ukuba kwasekumnyama.
Nakhona lapha sikhona wasubona ukuthi kumnyama.
Even there where we were, we could see that it was dark.
Now you arrive at the destination where you are driven now to the second spot. Take it from there. Describe to the court what happened.
Nafika ke kule ndawo enaniya kuyona uma nisuka ke engine chaza ke.
Masifika le ndawo le esaya kuyo Nkosi enkantolo. Lapha I'm sure yizwa ngingabona ngahluma kwakomnyama kodwa khona isitebhisi sasehlela ngale.
Although I couldn't see properly, my lord, because it was dark, but there was a staircase that was going down. But I didn't use it. I went on the side of it, or to the side of it.
And can we perhaps, for contextual purpose, describe that place? Were there any objects, items, or whatever you observed at that area that could be a beacon or some sort of location indicator to say, I was at this place because I saw this particular object?
Kukhona ongakusho ngachaza uthi ke ngangisendaweni ethize ngoba ngabona lokhu kwakunento ethize kule ndawo kunento ethize khona ongakusho mayelana naleyo ndawo leyo uthi kwakunento ethize lapha.
Yebo Nkosi enkantolo ngasho ukuthi kwayinto engangiyibona ngoba mawuzobona i-truck leli lichitha udustbin ngathi lifunana endaweni leyo isiganga khona.
Yes, my lord, I can say so because if you see the truck that now removes or that takes the dustbins, and so you then clearly say or ask yourself, what does that truck want there? So surely it was there to offload in other words, the dustbins, my lord.
So, besides you observing that it's a perhaps
dumping site,
were there any other objects identifiable to you at that stage?
Ngaphandle koba usho ke ukuthi ke ila uthi khona ke ubona ukuthi leyo truck leyo ezolahla ke udoti khona okunye owawukubona ke.
Into engangiyibona ngangibona nelokhuza la. Mangimile kunamatanka lapha ngibuka amatanka ngithi phesheya lapha.
The other thing
ngathi nje iqhumanya kunamatanka la ngathi akhanto ngosamende.
One would be standing there, you would see tanks from a distance, my lord. It's like they were built with some cement, my lord.
Now, what happened at that locality, at that location?
Kwenzekani lapha?
Mangifika ke Nkosi enkantolo lapha bangikhiphile emotweni lo umabhena.
On arrival or upon arrival there, they took me out of the vehicle.
Ngaphuma emotweni ngafika ngamaduzane nesitebhisi esiwathangimela.
Got out of the vehicle and they instructed me to stand next to that staircase.
What then happened?
Angibuze ukuthi namanje awufuna ukukhuluma iqiniso na ngimbuze manje ati liphi iqiniso ngizolikhuluma ngiyasho namanje ukuthi mangingekho emsebenzini ngisuke ngisekhaya.
Asked me, are you still not willing to tell the truth? I'm asking which truth, because if I am not at work, I would be home.
What then transpired, sir?
Emvenga lokho Nkosi enkantolo bese ke engikhipha lama handcuff ngemuva ngingamazi la namanye ukuthi wawane kobani la aye ngifase ngawo ngapha kule nsimbi lena le nsimbi le ngime phakathi naphakathi lesi stepisi.
From there, my Lord, he then removed or loosened the handcuffs that is now, as my hands were at the back. And then I don't know where he got the other handcuffs, and then he tied my hands on the steels, not on the one on the other side as well as on the other side.
Now, just for contextual purposes again, what were the weather conditions like on that day?
Kwaku isimo sezulu ke sasi kanjani ngalelo langa lelo?
Kwakubanda Nkosi enkantolo.
It was cold, my Lord.
And what were you wearing on that day?
Wawugqokeni?
Ngangifaka ijini ehlaza ereleni.
Eh?
Ijini ereleni.
Okay, a relay jean,
Kuyisweater le Carvel.
a Cavella sweater.
Kuyivesta ngaphansi vesta white.
Underneath, I was wearing a white vest
Kuyiskipa seFabian.
as well as a Fabiani t-shirt.
Kube itracksuit engase ngenikwa uMabhena.
A tracksuit that was given to me by Mabena,
Bese bayijacket yami ke inkampani ebhala ukuthi Impala Mine la.
as well as my company jacket, my Lord, which was written Impala Mine here.
Let's clarify something. I heard something, but the interpretation came otherwise. With regard to the Cavella, was it, you said suede or sweater?
Cavella.
The Cavella. Describe again something about the Cavella.
Ngazi uma ngayigumula ngibona isikole senkantolo
Sorry,
efanana.
is it a type of a shoe, or is it a jacket, or is it whatever? Because I couldn't get the interpretation clearly.
Ukhulumeni ngeCavella. Angazi ukuthi uzweni Mr. Ramsipilo ukuthi khona akuzwile noma ngakuzwanga ngeCavella oyishilo.
Ngithe enyaweni ngangigqoke iCavel
Yes.
enavy isweat.
I never heard about the feet. I'm
Oh,
hearing it for the first
No, that's
time.
fine. Okay, it's clarified. Then what then transpired? Once you-
Kwasekwenzekani?
Baphinde ke benze into bebeyenza ke emontweni Nkosi enkantolo ukuthi bafake uplastic la ngoba kumele.
They repeated the same thing that they did to me in the vehicle and placed the plastic as I was now standing.
Who started that process now at this dumping site? Who started the process of putting the plastic bag over your head?
Senila kule ndawo ke manje ubani owaqala ukwenza leyo nto?
uMabhena oqala lento Nkosi enkantolo ngoba yonke into ayenzeka uMabhena noJonathan.
Mabena is the one who started that, my Lord, because everything that was happening, it would be started by Mabena and Jonathan.
And at the time this plastic bag was placed over your head, was there anything asked of you?
Ngalesikhathi lo plastic lona ufakwa kuwena ke ekhanda ikona into owawuyibuzwa.
Angithi kwakuthiwa khuluma wena man, khuluma wena man.
It would be said, hey, you
Ngibuza ukuthi
speak,
ngikhulume yini?
speak. And I would ask, what should I speak? What should I speak?
And were you also physically assaulted besides the plastic bag at that area?
Kuleyo ndawo leyo ngaphandle kokufakwa ke uplastic ngaba wawushaywa nokushaywa yini?
Babengangishaya mina Nkosi enkantolo. Into babeyenza kimi khona lento babephethe le babe khase bengithele ngamanzi mabeyithi le yayingihlabala. Azange bangishaye ngezandla babu plastic nalento le.
My Lord, I was never assaulted. There's this particular object that they had. It would be the plastic, and then when they press it against me, it was, as the witness says it would like stab me or hurt me, but they never assaulted me.
Can we, for clarification purposes, describe that object? What is it exactly?
Iyini lento leyo kusho ukuthi khona lento babeyiphethe yayihlaba uma beyibeka la iyini?
Nkosi enkantolo ngeke angiyazi igama la ngoba ngangiqala ngabo mina lento Nkosi enkantolo.
I don't know what its name is because for me it was the first time seeing it with them or from them.
Ngoba mayebambe so wawuyizwe mayedry side iphephe lapha ekhanda bese mayeyithi ilethite ngathi ngumcibisholo la kimi so.
Because you would be able to see it, my Lord, or in other words, when the head was turning, and you would just feel it would have this feeling as he was bringing it closer to your body.
Now let's further explore that because I want to be specific. Did it stab you or did it emit electrical current to you? That object.
Ingaba lokho kwakuyinto eyayikuhlaba noma kwakuba yinto ongathi ke ikhipha ugesi oze kuwena ukuzwisa ubuhlungu noma kwakuyinto eyayikuhlaba.
yite ngathi yayilokhozi yayinhlaba ngoba yayichoka ngathi ngisuse ngathi la izandla ziyaqina zachoka amathumba alemala.
I would say a step, because as you would just feel that even your intestine or inside that you are feeling injured, as well as the hands were like they are being stiff or getting stiff.
Ngoba nguye uMabhena wangikhumula ijacket mina netracksuit washiyeka iskipa ngasigqoke ngaphansi ukuze akhona ukungithela ngamanzi.
Because Mabena is the one that would remove, or that had removing my t-shirt as well as my jacket, so as to be able for him to pour me with water.
Now, as a result of that device being used on you, did you sustain any injuries?
Ngokusetshenziswa kwaleyo nto isetshenziswa kuwena ingaba walimala yini ngenxa sikhuluma ngalento manje eyodwa le ukusetshenziswa kwayo kuwena ngathi ungabe kwabangela ukuthi ulimale yini?
Angazi ngaphakathi namanje Nkosi enkantolo ngoba akaze ngihanjisiwe ku doctor.
I don't know internally, my lord, because I was never taken to a doctor.
Now,
Ama injury akhona ila ama hand cover lana namanje la.
The only injuries that are there now
Engwabona lapha ngamphuma khona igazi.
that I can still see where I was bleeding are the handcuffed injuries, my lord. The witness pointing to both his wrists.
and do you still to this day have those marks from the handcuffs, caused by the handcuffs?
Lawo mamark lawo ke ama handcuff usenawo namanje.
No amanye nawo kuyabonakala nama lokungaba.
Yes, here they are. The witness pointing to both wrists, left and right.
Now, did that plastic bagging and the device being used on you at some stage stop to be used at that area?
Kwenziwa ke lokho kwase kufikelela ekuthini ke baze bangabusaqhubeka bayeke ukwenza.
Bakwenza ngithile baze bakhathala Nkosi enkantolo.
Yes, up until they got tired, my lord.
Then what happened?
Ngoba kwaze kwasondela yena ubaba lo umkhana abatshente mina ayikhumale language angaze igama la demand lisho ukuthini.
Demand.
Angilazi lo ukuthini.
Okay. Because Mukhane came closer, my lord, and he used this word which I don't know as to what it is. What does it mean? Demand.
Now, as that was transpiring at that location, at the dumping site, did there come a time when other people came whilst you were there?
Nise lapho ke ngabe bakhona yini abantu abafika nise kuleyo ndawo leyo?
Wafika umama lo mhula nobaba lo Genindi.
Yes.
Omunye angimazi lo waleli tole ofaka lento ama-class band anilazi igama lakhe namanje anilazi.
Sergeant Mukhula as well as Brigadier Gininda arrived. There was another one. Umuntu wesilisa lo ama-class band.
Yeah.
There was another gentleman, my lord, but I don't know his name. I don't know who that person or that gentleman was.
And what happened when Brigadier Gininda, Sergeant Mohola, and the gentleman in braces arrived?
Kwenzekani mabefika?
Weza kimi yena ubaba lo Genindi engibuza ukuthi namanje angifuni ukukhuluma iqiniso.
Gininda came to me and still asked me, do you still not want to tell the truth?
And then what happened?
Mina ngamphendula namanje lokhu ngimi lapho ukuthi angizazi ukuthi ngangekuphi ngoba ngangekho emsebenzini usuke ngisekhaya.
I answered him and then I said to him that I don't know where I was, because if I am not at work, then I will be at home.
Now, both Sergeant Mohola and Brigadier Gininda testified in this court to say that they were never at that site on the 19th of June 2020.
Bobabili ke uSergeant Mukhula kanye naye uBrigadier Gininda bethule ubufakazi bathi abakaze nge-19 zika June 2020 baya kule ndawo le wena oyishoyo.
From my colleague that I just want to seek clarity from the defense that we are now on the 19th or we're still on the 18th.
Oh, sorry. It's my mistake, my lord. Thank you, my colleague. Yeah, on the 18th.
Kwenze nje
at that
iphutha ke
spot at the
ngedate
dumping site. So,
sakhuluma nge-18 bethulile ubufakazi babo ke uSergeant Mukhula kanje naye kuBrigadier Gininda ukuthi ngazo le date le 18 abakaze baya kule ndawo oyishoyo wena.
Iphutha balikhuluma Nkosi enkantolo.
He made a mistake, my lord.
now, you testify that Brigadier Gininda asked you some questions and you replied to him. What then transpired?
Ushilo ukuthi uBrigadier Gininda wasekumuza imibuzo wamphendula wena kwasekuthini emva kwalokho.
wahamba-ke bakhuluma futhi bodwa lapha ngingabezwa ukuthi bakhuluma bethini.
He then left, they spoke amongst themselves, one side, my Lord. I don't know what it is that they were talking.
Ngoba umuntu engangimbona ukuthi ngeqiniso nje limsula phambi kwenkosi enkantolo ngangibona into eyenziwa ke umkhana kayifuni wayengayithandi total angifuni umqampela manga umntwana wabantu.
And the person that I could see, my Lord, who was against everything that was happening to me, I don't want to tell lies on his behalf or and lie about him, my Lord. Mukhane didn't like what was being done to me.
Drive imoto wayelokho engibuke njalo esibukweni ngimbona ukuthi inhliziyo yakhe lento le ayimjabulisanga kakhulu.
Because even as he was driving the vehicle, my Lord, I could see that he was using the rear view mirror, or he was using the mirror which was inside the vehicle, and you could see that his heart was in pain, my Lord, because he really didn't like that. Ukuthi ke wawibona ukuthi inhliziyo yakhe ibhlungu, wawibona kanjani leyo nto leyo?
Ngayibona ukuthi oqala inkosi enkantolo eze kimi ukuzokhuza.
I saw it the first time, my Lord, that he came to me to come and stop.
Ngoba nasemotweni wayelokho engibheka ngibuthi ngiright here.
Even in the
Ngithulele ngingamphenduli.
Even in the vehicle, he would look at me and ask me if I was okay. I would just keep quiet and not respond to him.
Ngoba nje igama engikhumbula ngiphendula ngathi amtshene la hle napha ukuthi uNkulunkulu ambusise. Namanje ngisakusho. La lapha lele khona ngithi uNkulunkulu ambusise.
Because the only word that I would say to him, to tell the one that was next to him that as he was seated there, that God should bless him, even where he is resting now, I'm still saying that God should bless him.
Yebo nkosi enkantolo
Yes,
noJonathan ngithi uNkulunkulu ababusise.
Yes, my Lord. Together with Jonathan, I'm still saying that God should bless them.
Now, what then transpired once Kininda has asked you those questions?
Kwase
After
kwenze-
they've had their meeting.
Baqedile ngomhlangano ababenawo, uGininda ukubuzile imibuzo, banomhlangano baqeda, kwase kwenzekani?
Ngase-ke ngingena-ke emotweni lapho khona khona umkhani imoto esihamba ngingayazi ihamba apha ngimbona ngayento waphuma bheka ngapheni bakuginenda.
Then got into the vehicle, my Lord. I don't know where the vehicle was traveling to, and I also did not see as to where Mr. Kininda went to.
And
Ngoba
the other,
bazona
so,
imoto-
sorry, Mr. Ntanzi. And the other two vehicles, the Nissan Hardbody and the GTI, did you see where they went?
Ezinye imoto lezi ezimbili, i-GTI, Nissan Hardbody, ngaba wabona ukuthi zaya kuphi zona?
Senyuka nazo nkosi enkantolo ngangayibona ukuthi ishonaphi nazo nje
We travel-
sehanjwa ngangayibona ukuthi babheka kuphi.
We traveled with them, my Lord, but as we went ahead with our journey, I didn't see as to where they went to.
Now, eventually, where were you driven or taken by Mohane and Mabena?
Ekugcineni ke wase usiwa kuphi ke uMukhane noMabhena?
Angisayikhumbuli i-police station nkosi enkantolo.
I can't recall the police station, my Lord.
Okay. Then you were booked in the cells until the following day, correct?
Wase ubuyiselwa ke emaselini kwaze kwayilanga elilandelayo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, I want us to move to the events of the 19th of June 2020. Do you recall the events that transpired that day?
Usakhumbula okwenzeka ngazo i-19 June 2020?
Do you still remember the incident of the 19th of June?
Yebo nkosi enkantolo.
Yes, my Lord.
ngiyakhumbula.
I do.
What transpired on that day?
Kwenzekani ngalelo langa?
Ngalolo langa lele ekuseni nje ngoba umkhani wangivusa nje ngizilalela ngoba ngangigodola emaseleni phakathi.
On that day in the morning, because I was woken up by Mukhane because I was just laying there in the cells and feeling cold.
Wangikhipha ke sahamba phinde futhi sangena kuye imoto lapha epaka khona lapha.
He took me and then we got into the vehicle.
Now, before that, let me cut it here and track back a bit. You are now booked at the police station. Did you notify any of the police officers, the cell master, anyone at that police station that you had just been assaulted by the people that brought you to that police station?
Manje uma usufakwa ke emaselini ke manje ngabe khona yini owamtshela ke kulaba mhlambi naba bagada amaseli osebenza khona lapha epolice station ukuthi uqeda ushaywa ke wena manje yilabo bebekade behamba nawe?
Nkosi enkantolo into eyenzekela e-police station la ama-police station lawa la awafani abona lapha ePretoria North alikho iphoyisa lake lafika ke ngoba umuntu mayephethe ukhiya yokuvulela eseleni ehamba nalowo ahamba naye uMabhena engekho umuntu wasestation ngizoreportela abantu.
My lord, the police station do not function the same or don't do things the same. There in Pretoria, no one ever came to me, my lord, because when you are being taken to the cell and the key is held by the very same person that you are with, who am I going to report to?
Kube yena nkosenkantolo okukhombisa isiport thatha nasi isiport thatha nazi ingubo. Engekho umuntu osebenza la we-uniform kuyibo. Ekhiye baqede bahamba.
He's the one who's showing you what to take or where to go, and there is no one who is from the police station. Then there is no one that I can report to.
Ngoba nokufika kwami police station kwakehla yena umhana angene ngaphakathi ngamazi ukuthi abangena yele ngisheke nomabhena la. Ngiyothi emveni kwesikhathi nange qhamuka evula athi angiye phakathi.
Because what would happen, my lord, we would arrive at the police station, Mukhane would go in, I would remain behind with Mabena, he would then come back, he would open for me.
Now, I'll ask it again for fear of repetition. During the 2 assaults at engine and at the dumping site, did you physically have any visible injuries except the wrists that were injured, the marks that you say you suffered as a result of the handcuffs?
Ngaphandle kwalama mark owashilo ne othi iwona ke asekhona ke noma sabonakalayo. Khona into okunye ukulimala okwakukhona owawunako okwakubonakala kulamahlandla amabini owashaywa ngawo. Khona ukulimala okwakubonakala owawunako ngaphandle kwama mark la okhulume ngawo ama handcuffs.
Akukho nkosenkantolo kuphela umzimba yawozi ukuthi umzimba uhlukumezekile.
No, none, my lord, but one could just feel that the body had been abused.
Now, just back a bit as well. When that device was used, the one that you said was used on your torso, did you suffer any injuries? Did you react anyhow? Did you cry?
Nkathi ke isetshenziswa leyanto uthi ayisetshenziswa kuwena ke ingabe khona yini okwenzeka okwenza ngaba wakhala yini?
Nkosenkantolo ngangikhala.
My lord, I was crying.
Now, you are booked out on the 19th of June 2020 by the person that booked you. Take it from there. What happened next?
In 19 wakhishwa ke kwasekwenzekani?
Ngayibona imoto ihamba ngazi ukuthi yakuphi.
Just saw the car traveling. I
Behamba ngemoto besemoto ngasikiwa.
didn't know where it was driving to, my lord.
Did that motor vehicle finally reach a destination?
Khona la eyafika khona.
Ikhona lapho yafika khona yangena khona ngoba lapho la masingena thina kunabantu babecula ngathi kuna strike khalinyana lapho.
Yes, my lord.
Angazi le ndawo eqopheni.
It reached somewhere because where we were driving or where we arrived, it was like there were some people that were demonstrating there, some sort of a strike, but I don't know that place, or I didn't know the place.
And did that motor vehicle enter premises where it had to stop on your way?
Khona la eyangena khona kwakufanele ukuthi noma ke la eyafika yema khona.
Yebo kukhona kodwa igama lakhona angilazi ukuthi.
Yes, my lord, there is, but I don't know the name of that place or area.
Proceed further, sir.
Qhubeka.
Mayifika khona imoto ngafika ngahlala khona emotweni akaze ngiphume emotweni.
When it arrived there, my lord, I sat in the vehicle. I never went out of the vehicle.
Waphuma umkhane ke ekhuluma nefoni nawo mabheni bekhuluma nefoni.
Mukhane as well as Mabena went out, my lord. They were speaking using their phones.
Ngoba sahlala nje phela isikhathi eside kuleya ndawo imoto imile nje.
Because we spent quite some time there, the car just not moving, stationary there.
Just one last question, and I'll take it after the long adjournment. Evidence was led through the AVL expert that there was a stage where the motor vehicle for 10 minutes or so was stationary at Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital. Do you recall that incident?
Kunobufakazi ke bekhona ke lana ke bawo ke umbiko lo wana we-AVL ukuthi kunesikhathi ke la khona ke imizuzu eyishumi la imoto yayimi khona ke eChris Hani Baragwana kodwa ke ungaphenduli ke size umshushisi uthini.
I want to object. Evidence it was GPS unlocked, and the fact that it was stationary is not correct.
Let me correct myself. Sorry for putting that version. Where it says GPS unlocked at Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital, do you recall?
Uyakhumbula ke ubufakazi la bashilo ke mabechaza ngendlela yabo ukuthi ke isho ukuthi iGPS ke leyo ke yayi avaliwe ke uyakhumbula ubufakazi lobo bekhuluma ukuthi imoto ke khona la etshengisa khona isekrisana iBarakwana.
Yebo ngiyakhumbula.
I remember, my lord.
Stay with that incident at Barakwana because I'll take it after that. My lord, it
Uzoqhubeka
will be an opportune moment for the long adjournment.
What time, sir?
It is exactly 1 o'clock, my lord.
Okay, 2 o'clock. Back.